company that you have set up a number of years ago, that is obviously an operating company that is already running businesses. So when you buy the loan, when you buy the property under that ABC company that you have been running for a number of years, right, the bank will find easier to lend it to you because they have a track record. Okay. Now, under the kind of situation, right, the second thing will happen. TDSR do not apply. So they do not look at the director, whether you have multiple loans already in a residential. No. They just look at your company P&L statement and realize, wow, your company last year income quite good. Okay, loan. Sometimes can even go up to 90%. So that's where your head start to think, wow, kaching, wow, can borrow so much. Well, that's the way a smart businessman make use of the current operating company to start buying up properties, because they can max out loan 90%.
Mm-hmm. And another thing, when buy via IHC or operating company, the tenor is based on the property tenor or based on the age of the guarantor?
I think first and foremost, the bank will look at how many years left on the lease is this property you're buying. Okay, so assuming if this property only left 25 years, okay, so you take 25 minus 15, so its answer is 10, right? So the bank will probably want to lend you for only about 10 years, leaving the balance 15 years as the period where the bank will see as no loan. I say this, okay, or rather, things have evolved to this context because a lot of properties are starting to be even below 15 years left. So what happens is the bank was starting to say that, okay, never mind, I don't wish to execute this guideline anymore. Even if I got 15 years left, they can even lend you for 10 years, no? Only left 5 years left on the lease that is a unborrowed period. So these are the bank product that's constantly changing. Why? Because true enough, more and more industrial properties are going through the stage where there's not many years left. Okay, so that part we really need to examine. Back to your question, Elena. Yes, number one is the number of years left on the lease, and then comes the second priority. What is the borrower's age? So then the next question is, does it really matter how old I am? Yes, if your TDSR need to be incorporated in the calculation because they take the director's age as well. No, if you are going to borrow under your operating company, they don't care whether the director how old. They just want to know your company can make money.
Can I because it's a newly set up, I use director as a guarantor for the first loan, and then 2-3 years later I refinance, I change to borrow to become the IHC itself. Is it possible, or I must maintain using director as a guarantor?
Okay, I think the starting point got to be right. You need to, okay, or rather the bank lend you the money based on the ownership of the property. So if you're going to buy under your, okay, can I assume you buy under your IHC Private Limited?
Yes, under IHC, but I have director have to be the guarantor because it's a new.
That's right. Okay, it gets a bit complex. When you first buy, you borrow it under your Private Limited by the IHC, so they will use your director's income as part of the guarantor or they calculate TDSR. Yeah, I think I get your objective. In a few years later, right? You want to refinance it, right? Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, here is the tip. I learned from some banks that if in years to come you want to do a refinancing, and if let's say your IHC company has got transactions, meaning you could have several properties under it, or you could have used that IHC company to do other form of, I don't know, trade, right? Most important, the bank will see it as, okay, your company is quite active. Right? They can start to look at it as, okay, your IHC now is an operating company. Then they will refinance it based on what? Based on the profit and loss statement of your company, rather than the director's income.
Oh, so that means once the status change, the nature of the business change from just getting rental income, change to running operating company.
Yeah.
But the company name, everything still maintained. Just
that's correct. It doesn't matter. The company name the same doesn't matter. The nature of business under the ACRA cert remain the same, doesn't matter. All right. The most important is there are transactions in the company bank account. There's proper invoicing to say that, okay, I provide these goods and services. Likewise, if you have several property under that company, some bank will also look at it as, oh, okay, that is also a transaction. So I say this because every bank will view every case on a case by case basis. You know why? Because bank want to make money from you, they will lend you money, They also want to think of reasons they can justify to their top management that, hey, this company is indeed an operating company. I think that's how IHC company eventually also become like macam like an operating company look like .
So what I refinance using
okay. Elena, if you don't mind, I can just open up to the rest first to see whether there are some questions. If they don't have, then I take all more questions from you. Is it okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, any questions from the rest?
Hi, Chris. I have a question.
Hi, Yen.
Yen here. Okay, can I check for a business B1 industry, right?
Sorry, Yen. Can you do me a favor, Yen? Could you turn on the video?
Okay. I don't have. It's not convenient. Can I check with you?
Okay.
Can
sure.
I check with you? Okay, for B1, for ground floor, if let's say it's a tenant wants to do a showroom, do we need to do a change of use?
Are you serving the tenant right now, Yen?
Tenant, landlord.
You're serving the landlord. Okay. What exactly is the kind of showroom?
It's on the ground floor.
Okay,
so many a times we are unable to ascertain, let's say it's just a ground floor, but it's actually a B1. And they want to do it as a showroom.
Yeah, what kind of showroom?
Okay, to put furniture is okay, to put cameras. So they will have certain storage. One part of it storage, and then one area will be showroom. So do we need to do a change of use?
Maybe I share with you how, the best way to go about doing this, right? Okay, I put it bluntly, is just do it. Okay, it may not go very well with agents which are very cautious, everything also very worried whether things will happen, whether in the first place can do or not. You know why? Because industrial property, right? If you want to be strict about it, you go through change of use, the likelihood is you can't get it.
Yeah, got to pay the levy.
Yeah. When you start to look at, they'll say, now you from industrial usage, you become look like a commercial usage, right? Then number one, there's a fee.
Very high. Yeah.
Right. Number two, they have every right to say no because it's not a B1 usage, right? So at the end of it, right, we go through this whole journey, eventually comes to no fruition one, or you're like, waste time, you talk to authority, answer is no one, right? You see, that's where we need to understand on the ground what's going on. On the ground, you see most of the B1, or rather most of the ground floor, so-called look like showroom one. I can tell you 80% of them got no change of use.
Okay.
Yeah. Why? Because that's the way it is. We just need to acknowledge and be able to accept it. There's some kind of risk.
Then how do we disclaim? How do we disclaim?
I think as an agent, the best way is to be very forthcoming. As a landlord, right? The best way now that got tenant come in, they want to do like what you say, right? You can be very forthcoming with the agent, to the tenant, all right, to say that, especially having in written, get them to do an LOI. LOI then already stated purpose of use is to use as what? You can read out there, showroom
plus storage.
Plus storage. Yeah.
Yep.
So like that, at least it's documented. There won't be a situation where anybody come back and say, hey, Mr. Landlord, you don't know, man. Hey, Mr. Agent, you don't know, man. Actually, everything is written. Most important is for your client, which is the landlord, to be able to accept this profile.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything happens is really the tenant and the landlord have to go and work it out on an amicable solution, whether do they want to then have an early exit or moved out, whether do need to do reinstatement or not, or want to get to have an approval stage where somebody will have to pay the fee for this change of use. So some of these things can always be discussed at the point when things happen. Good to let them know right from the beginning that these are the things that is good to know. But in reality on the ground, right, that is the way we need to accept that a good 80% of the units are got no change of use.
Not okay. Because why I ask, because Oxley, they have a lot of, there are some retail shops there,
Yeah.
but by right, we should not have this retail shop in a
That's
B1.
right. That's right.
And then,
That's correct.
of course, for childcare, then we have no choice. We have to do a change of use.
That's
so that
correct.
one very clear cut. It's
That's
just
right.
the retail shops, you know, some of
Yeah.
them want to do retail.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
we'll have to put inside our LOI. Okay, another question is this. There are some tenants that want to use the ground floor unit, part of it as a cafe, part of it as their, also like their showroom. So when we do a change of use, then what classification do we put this as?
Well, in the first place, right? Is the cafe meant for public consumption?
It will be. Like,
Yeah.
for example, there's some.
Yeah, no, I understand.
It
well,
is for
I think
public.
Yeah. Okay, be a bit more cautious when you come to cafe. Well, because cafe definitely you go to change of use because it's F&B component.
Okay.
It's a lot more things in place with the compliance authority. You see, the main thing is some tenant very creative. They say, "Oh, I have a cafe component, but it's for my in-house usage." Means means for my own staff to use, Means what? Means they got walk-in customer to, for example, I got one before. They say, "No, I'm going to set up one where my bicycle customer come in, right, and browse my bicycle. My bicycle, everything's on storage only. They want to buy, they must buy online. Then I'm going to have a cafe to let my cafe customer enjoy and relax."
Okay.
Rightfully is okay, all right? Because there isn't this point of sale that you sell the coffee, You get my point? Yeah.
They will have a point of sale.
No, they do not have. If they do not have, it's fine. Right, but evidently their intention, all right, is to open the cafe, not for their bicycle customer in consumption. Is to really let everybody come in and just buy coffee, tapao, and all that.
Yep.
And especially when you got point of sale, which definitely will have, right? People must pay cash, right?
Yeah.
Or you don't need to try, sure cannot get one. Yeah, you want to try to do this under B1 building, you're almost certain you won't get it.
Okay.
Sometimes don't need to be too creative. If people want to do F&B, want to make money, then just go to a commercial building.
Okay, Ken, thank you so much, Chris.
Yeah, dimension. All right, good. We got 12 more minutes, more questions, guys. 29 of you are inside. Hey, no question. Then you're coming so early for what? You can have a rest until 2 o'clock. Elena, do you have some questions that you want to continue asking?
Yes. Let's say
you're very lucky there. You pay $50, right? Everyone pay $50, right? But you ask a lot of questions. Very good.
Okay, let's say when I do refinance, the IHC are able to refinance, so no longer look at the director's TDSR, right? And then the tenor is based on the property only, is it?
Well, at the point of refinancing, if the banks view your IHC company as an operating company, all right, then they will base the loan duration on the lease, on the number of years left on the lease, rather than the age of the director.
Oh, okay. Also, what happens if IHC guarantor is the director, then halfway through the director change person?
Oh, okay. Well, the bank usually do not bother until you do refinancing.
Okay.
Okay, so this kind of situation, usually you don't want to rock the boat. You don't go and tell the bank that, hey, now change director. Then rightfully they have a right to change all the approval.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So under the shareholder part, right? Of course, you can change your director's name. Even under shareholder, you can change your percentage. Or that this part is under ACRA. Bank side, they don't really bother until you tell them that, oh, you change director. In fact, they won't know.
Is it possible for us to use shareholder as a guarantor instead of director as guarantor?
From what I understand from the bank, the answer is no. They want to have the director to take ownership that you are the director of the company. Why I say that is because there can be situations, in fact, quite common. People pump in money to finance this purchase, right? In the case of iQuadrant, Marco, similar kind of companies, right? Many of them are cash investors, but they don't want to be a director of the company for various reasons. Because some of them are actually employed, they don't wish their name to pop up in Accra, right? Or for some reason, they just don't want their name to be shown anywhere. But they have a lot of cash, they want to pump in. But for loan purpose, no, must be based on the director.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's all my questions. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Wow, CB Owa, you're $50, very good. Good. All right. Hey, does anyone knows why Oxley Biz Hub is a quite unprofitable building to buy into as an investor? Remember just like in my earlier slides, I show you a few examples of building Oxley Biz Hub. A lot of people lose money. Where else, like View City, Ubi Tech Park, all a lot of people make money. Anyone wonder why? Can I assume that silence means you don't know why and don't care lah? Don't want to know why lah? Don't know why, don't care, don't want to know why, then it's okay. Skip. Change topic. All right. Jean says launch price is high for Oxley. Okay. Oxley is near MRT. Joanne says near MRT. Linda also don't know why, right? I want to know why. Okay, good. Okay, Joanne, you can PM me separately. I will tell you the answer. The rest of you down here do not seems to be too interested. Don't want to bore you with this topic. Pay for swimming pool. Kenny says, the double volume. Fantastic, Okay. All right, guys. Really, the only way for our training to be successful for you is when you interact lah. Means anything you're not sure, ask. Any answers you feel you think is right, you think is wrong, doesn't matter. You put it in. Then only then we know whether all of us are learning. Really, a Zoom session is difficult because it's pretty much one-sided. I think we're all doing our best, right, to engage you in a more interactive manner. So I think that is only possible if, let's say, right, I want to clap. I also need your hand to clap. So clap together. I keep up this FAQ segment, extra 30-minute, extra xiong for me one. Don't need to do one. But I want to do because got FAQ but no question, next time don't do. Right? Is it because high maintenance fee is high? Jason, no, nothing to do with maintenance fee. Right? Yen, you're right. Something to do with double volume. Kenny, nothing to do with swimming pool. Right? Yes, launch price. I think Jing say launch price is high for Oxley. I think yes. I think Oxley Biz Hub is pretty much the test bed for industrial property developer during that time to see whether they can make a lot of money or not. So Oxley was very clever at that time. They bid the land at quite a low rate because that time was just at the start of the industrial property rebound, not rebound, increase. And then what they do is when they bought the land, they realized, wow, this is the booming market. So they got the sole marketing agent. The time I remember it was Hattons who came in. They want to sell at this price, right? For a good reason. I think Hattons actually suggested they want to sell at higher price. So in that case, commission is very high. I think that was the start of a high commission environment. Which is nothing wrong. I think it's a willing buyer, willing seller environment. So when the buyer buy at high price, okay, I think that's where whether the price will go up higher or not become a question. Not too sure, right? Okay, now we are extrapolate over time, 2012 to 2021. All right, it's been 9 years already. So usually if market goes up, you go up lah. Market comes down, you go down lah. I think the challenge is the product by itself is very complex. For example, high ceiling. When you go in, anyway, this topic will be discussed later in some of my slides later. When you go inside, you realize for high ceiling. So high ceiling, should it be priced into your strata space? And if so, how much should the per square foot be? Whereas some of the unit like a block 73, let's say level 6, right? All the units are all it's all strata space only, no air space. So down there you see like, some units are selling 500 plus per square foot. You look like, what's so expensive? But it's expensive because it's relative to what? To other unit per square foot, which is, how come only 400 plus? Yours overpriced. But the truth is, other unit is inclusive of what? Airspace, ma. You get what I mean? So when you have a mix of units, right, having different per square foot, some 400 plus, some 500 plus, then the mixture is, so what's the right price? You see, that's where on the ground, a lot of the buyer will start to question. They cannot accept why yours is 500 plus per square foot, whereas other units 400 plus per square foot. That ended up, right, the complexity of this building because of the very kind of product, right, very kind of units makes it very difficult for a buyer to buy in, right, and valuable to value. High volume just one, different layout. Down there got square, got funny shape, got long one, got quite nice curve. And then some of them are downstairs, some of them are ground floor unit. Some of the upper floor also has got car park outside their unit. So I think my main point to everybody is, and to also to fellow investors, right? Try to buy units which are typical. You know what's typical? East Center is very typical. Inside everything is typical. No balcony, no car park space. You go to Ubi Tech Park, all the layout there all quite typical, all quite squarish. You know, no fanciful things like balcony and all that. Midview City. A lot of buyers say we go and buy, but want to buy certain floor only. Because certain floor, on higher floor, 7th floor, 8th floor, all got balcony. So they try to avoid those units lah. Because balcony actually takes up your usable space, isn't it? Yeah, so things like that. My advice is go for typical units. All right, we have 2 more minutes before we start. Anyone last questions?
Hi, Chris. This is Jennifer here. I wanted to you because earlier on you showed a slide where you mentioned like single user factory and multiple user factory. So I'm not sure what does it mean actually.
Right. Okay. Single user simply means that the whole plot of land belongs to one owner, right? And the one owner is using the place. So typically those are the landed terrace factories. Or the whole building, right? You can see that it's 5-story high. Okay, but the whole 5-story high inside it may have multiple units. However, right, this whole building also belongs to one owner. So we just classify it as under single building owner, single user building. Then the other type are the one that we're all very familiar with, strata title ones. So obviously, all the whole block, right, they will chop up into 100 units. So there are 100 owners that can go around for you to transact. Okay, so for the purpose of focus, right, guys, just focus on the multi-user units, because those are the one that your client can help you to help them to rent out their small 1,000 square feet or to sell out their 1,000 square feet unit. So there's multiple transactions compared to you're tasked to sell the whole building.
So would that mean that strata units would fall under the multiple user factory?
That's right. You're right.
All right, thank you. Then another question I have is that for you as an investor, would you think that B1 is a better investment or B2 is a better investment?
Right. I need to make assumption on the time that I'm buying. That's assuming, okay, maybe I can make it a bit simpler for you, Jennifer. As a whole, go for B1. Why? Because B1 generally is like a hybrid class between industrial and commercial spaces. So in B1 building, you have a very nice corporate image that some of yourself or rather your tenant come in, they'll look at it as, wow, your building is very well run. It looks almost like an office. So an office tenant can rent from you. Okay. Likewise, those who want to do light production, IT work, all right, light machinery work, they can also rent from you. So this kind of hybrid environment enable you to get more tenants of a varied business. B2, very dedicated. You got to be those dirty trade, all right, heavy cutting, car workshop, all right, carpentry. So generally, those are very dedicated kind of work. So I mean, if we are to very detail to talk about today's environment right now today, today B2 is doing very well, primarily because government do not release a lot of B2. In fact, in the past, there's always been a lot of B1. So, and also B2 is also is people who are into B2 building, right? The nature of business does not enable them to take their business into their home, work from home. They can't, right? So the tenant, in a way, no choice, will have to continue to rent from you or to renew the lease because they cannot take the machinery and work from home, right? So B2 give you a very resilient kind of a tenancy, always renew and renew one. Whereas B1 a little bit volatile. Recently I got my tenant only rent for 2 years and said no, it's okay. Now my business, everything work from home and on Zoom. Never mind, I give up my space already. So it's once again we need to strike a balance. Generally go for B1. I think it's a safer buy. Okay, guys. Now it's 2:02 already. Okay, I think we're good to go. We're gonna start off with today's segment. All right. For those who have just joined us after your lunch, all right, guys, welcome back. 45 for you. We started at 90. Well, now half time. Also half the participant. Okay, doesn't matter because some of you I understand in the midst of doing viewing and all that. A big welcome to all of you who prioritize the second half of the segment. You know why? Because there's a Chinese saying called 好戏在后头. The good show is at the back. So indeed, I got some interesting segment that I'm sure you will find it very interesting. All right, and I think I'll start from here now. Okay, once again, let's go. All right, for those who just tune in or could have missed the past few days, once again, please take out your phone, scan this QR code, all right, and be part of the PCT Telegram chat, where in future we will have all the good stuff that we want to let you know, new information, new listings. All right, likewise, you got good listings that you want to broadcast to everybody. All right, to co-market together or find partners, or you may be new, you want somebody to do together. All right, please put it here. I think that's how we want to marry each other's into this Telegram chat. Now, gentle reminder, guys, really, we are doing all this, right? It's only for one purpose, so that you are able to do your listing right away. Okay, I say this is because there's really no need to waste your time. Come here to learn. At the end of it, you will forget a lot of things. Really, the purpose of today's session is really to make you feel encouraged that you may have already a client who maybe last week tell you that, yeah, I got this listing. Take it up. Do. How to do? Volunteer for this virtual live presentation. Right? Because I will hold your hands to do the slide, all right, so that you're able to present it well, not only online. Believe me, once you can present it well online, right, the whole content is already ahead already. Then when you go and do a presentation to your would-be buyers or tenant, right? You will convince. All right. So once again, please. Okay. At this moment, maybe I just ask a question, right? I just ask one question, right? Okay. Down here, maybe a quick show of. No, I don't want show of hands. Can you type it in the group chat, right? Okay. Who down here have a industrial listing that you are working on right now, or you're planning to take up the listing one? If you have, right, put yes in the group chat. Yang Teng, okay, good. You already have a listing. Gerard, you got a B2 listing. Okay, Sandy, what kind of listing do you have, Sandy? Now maybe you can help me. Instead of yes, right, you can put, let's say, B2 sale or B1 rent, or you can even say the building is okay one, Hub 21 for sale. Oh, innovation place for sale. Fantastic. Sandy, innovation place are very fertile. Got good listing, sure sell one. Gerard, yours is the B2 Eunos Tech Park. Okay, good. Is it for rent or for sale? Okay. Yenting, Apex. Oh, wow. Apex. AZ. Great Hill Forum. Oh, wow. Okay.
And Splendor.
And Splendor.
Splendor. Sale and
wow.
rent.
Okay, Splendor is rent. Okay. Good. Recently, I just sold one unit in Apex, ground floor unit, the Clinic Kopitiam. The one that's running as a Clinic Kopitiam right now.
Oh, very good.
Wow,
Apex,
very good. Sorry?
Apex at Henderson?
Apex. Yeah.
At what price?
4.6 million. Yeah, 4.6 million.
Good.
Yeah, very good. Wow, I do live in face green. But eventually, most important, yeah, still successful in the sale. Good match with a fellow corporate agent to close it from Propnex. Now, yeah, it's about how to market it. I always believe no matter how tough that listing may be, the right marketing angle, or eventually there's still a match. So the buyer eventually buy in because they want to convert that space into their own F&B. Doable. Okay, Ken. Thank you, Ian. I can also work with you and see which listing you want to do the live presentation. Is it okay, Ian?
Great. Thanks.
Fantastic. Good job.
Chris, can I share something? What do you think of an industrial building that is probably only about less than 20-year-old?
Sorry, is that Ian?
Yep.
Ian, do you mind if I take on FAQ at the end?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, okay, because I want to go dive into showing you how to be a King Kong idea. Yeah, really, I think many of you down here would have this desire to want to know how can I work smart and work less and yet can be a platinum Or I really like to guide you through how I do 150 transactions in one building. Some people call me King Kong there, but I okay. Now, the answer is really about your effective presentation. Do you agree with me? Every client come up to you to visit you at your building, right? They are looking at what? Looking at the way you present the building, the way you present that floor, the way you present that unit, the way you present yourself, in order for what to be built. Let me show you. So this way, I like to show you and later to demonstrate to you, right, how to do the 3-3-3-3 method. This is called the 4D number, 3-3-3-3. 3 spots. You pick 3 spots in the building to present. Right? Typically, I like to pick the 3 spot where? 3 spot. I like to pick on the ground floor next to the directory. Right? I like to demonstrate what is good about that building. Then I like to choose another spot on the level. And the last spot is the unit itself. I pick 3 spots. Then in every spot, right, I like to talk about 3 things. What's so good about ground floor? At the ground floor, down there got cafe, down there got car park. Down here, see right across the road, got what? Got bus. Then I go to the level. What's so good about level 6? Oh, level 6 because got what? Then what's so good about? What is the unique selling point of the last spot? The unit itself. Within the unit, this unit, open up, the natural lighting is good. Right, this unit is really nicely renovated so that you as a tenant do not need to spend too much money to renovate, especially in today's high renovation cost environment. Right? The layout of this unit is also very, very, very squarish and very regular, very easy to do your interior design. 3 points within 3 spots. At the end of this, right, what's the purpose of doing this? We only have one point: to let your client, to let your co-bro agent feel trust in your product, trust in that unit you're selling, and trust in you. And all this need to be cleverly crafted in order for you to present well. Now I'd like to show you how I do it using a video.
Oh, welcome client and your colleagues to eCenter. Can I tell you the top reason why eCenter is very popular choice for tenant like yourself and a lot of buyers?
Oh, sure.
Okay, first and foremost.
Sorry, by the way, all of you can hear the video? Can you hear the video? Yes, okay, yes. Good. Just to be sure. Okay, can.
Most right across the road is easy connectivity for your staff and your colleague. And on the other side, right down there is ABC Market. So down there you get all your local food at all cheap prices. Wi-Fi important for your colleague, right? So very easy. Can you see the car park situation? Okay, very easy for visitor come and park. Or let's say you got a lot of stuff we need to park. First, second, third, fourth floor, all your ample parking. Can I show you the inside? Now, as you're working, I think in most businesses, what is really important is corporate feel. Most businesses want to come in and feel like, wow, this is very well run in a nice, beautiful corporate feel where everything is marble, everything is white and clean. Important, right? Your local business must carry the kind of corporate feel. But very important is also who are your fellow neighbor. You know why not? Because if your neighbor, big company, they do well, carry a lot of weight, right? Then your business will also grow together. Then let's say got people to join you, or let's say you grow within the building, the whole building all bloom together. Okay, let me show you the directory. This building, I call it United Nations. Because what kind of country also have Japanese company, China company, multinational level company. But the whole idea is when your big company are already here. So if you're a buyer today, or your buyer want to, or you're the seller today, your buyer want to buy from you. You also want to know that, wow, this building like a lot of big company already anchoring in as a good tenant, isn't it? And more importantly, it's also welfare for your people. Sometimes when your rain, then Grab driver, McDonald's want to come in, right? So at least food at all times for service your staff.
That's good.
What's the nature of your company business?
Oh, we are an engineering company. We have about 10 staff.
Okay, understand. Hey, hello Mr. Lim, how are you doing? Oh, just went for lunch, is it? Okay, good. Yeah, I'm bringing in good tenant to be your neighbor later lah. Oh, good. So Mr. Lim, later I'll be showing you the 10th floor unit and downwards lah. So later easier for you to view, for many units to show you.
Okay.
Now on every floor got a light of its own, different energy, different feel. Right now on this floor, right, as you can see the unit I'll be showing you later, alright, where we are is right here. So where I'm showing you later will be on this side. Okay? Now the layout you can see later is very, very squarish. Now as you walk down the corridor, right, Ms. Lee and your fellow colleagues, right? You can see that very hello. You can see that it's very corporate feel. You can see everything all very clean. You walk past some of this very big company, you can tell like this vacancy actually renovated, right? It means buy over the unit. But out here the room, the business do well, they rather own it now. Let me show you the actual unit.
Alright, now we move on to the third spot.
26th floor. Hey, who's the manager? Who's the manager?
Oh, me. I'm the manager.
Oh, you're manager. Then, of course, you take the biggest room lah. Then your colleague, which one do you want to choose? But out here, the room, the good thing about this unit is really nicely renovated with purposeful room. So you can save cost on renovation. So obviously the bosses can take the room on the other side. And then this will be good meeting room. Can I show you? Yeah, obviously a good size, like 10 packs meeting room lah. So based on your 10 people in your engineering company, it's a good space for you to hold your common meeting. Yeah, the bosses like yourself can be here. See, the good thing, right? This unit is really going to spend so much time and money to renovate. After all, time and money is business cost. See, the rooms are all nicely done already, like this. In the past, this unit, my previous tenant when I was using, right, they using as the office. Yeah, and they did really well. That's why they upgraded to a 3,000 square feet office now. Then this room can be your, where your colleague? Hey, your colleague ask them come here. This one can be the finance room, no? Why? Because the finance room usually want to be enclosed within closed door lah, or safer for their work. Then you can see looking out. On this side is also the bright view side. One building there blocking now. But in office, people don't really care whether got view or no view lah. Most important is got natural lighting coming in.
Okay, guys, hope you enjoy the video. All right, if you have noticed by now, the video is only 6.5 minutes long. And in between, you still be walking through the lift, talk to each other in the lift. Oh, by the way, by the way, the person who's doing the video is actually one of my agents, right? Miss Lim, right? Then the person in the lift, talking to the person in the lift, that was actually a ghost, pretending to be talking to him only. Then you saw I take out a bunch of keys.
Yes, that's the most amazing. I see your key.
Yeah, you guys noticed, right? Fantastic. I purposely take out the key to be part of the video to demonstrate to you. I like to do the tin ling ti ling ling, like tin ling ling ti ling ling, like bless the ghost like that. But the people in the lift will be very curious, like, oh, who is the agent? Wow, so many keys. Sometimes you can strike a good conversation. All right, and especially if there are people in the lift whom you already know, that they say hello to you, which incidentally, you will notice when I got to the top floor, during the video at time, somebody turned around, the lady say, "Hi, Chris, you caught it?" Yeah, so that one was not planned to be in a video, but the person really knew me and say hello to me. So trust is built when your client also feel that, wow, you know a lot of people here. But all this, all this starts from our little effort, all right, to say hello to all the people within the building. You may not know them by name, it's fine. But when you say hello to everybody, after all, everybody become a friend. And that becomes very easy for you to do your prospecting in future. Now, whole video only 6.5 minutes. So I did 3 spots, ground floor. Outside the building, I did 1 spot. Within the first floor at the lift, at the reception, at the directory area, I do 1 spot. And then at the unit itself, I did 1 spot. Right? Total only 6.5 minutes. Okay, so once again, I challenge everyone to adopt this in your own area of work, whether it's industrial or even for residential. Believe me, it works. Right? Because people want to buy your condo, may not necessarily be that must be your unit there. But could be downstairs, you really start to make them feel good about the condo. All right, and then I think that's how trust is built over time. All right, guys. If you can, all right, please take out your phone right now. You can just Google Chris Choo channel. Yes, just Google Chris Choo channel. All right, and then you will see my channel popped out. All right, and then you can just navigate, and then you go to YouTube. There you see my channel. Can I suggest you subscribe to my channel? Why? Because I constantly push out new video content. Whether is it listing, which you guys don't really bother I don't bother, but it's more to some of the education content which I felt sometimes quite useful for my fellow teammate, fellow agent. Then you can always make use of it to either duplicate it to be on your own, or just learn 1 tip or 2 and execute it on the ground. Or something you're lazy, right? You just forward the video to your client. Doesn't matter one. You know why? At the end of it, it's not about the call to action at the end. You see that, wow, you send Chris Choo video, you scared, wow, Chris Choo become your agent, become the client. No one. As long as you are able to control your client well, that they trust you, doesn't matter what video you send. So many times I send Property Link Brother video, send to my client. Eventually, they also never buy through Property Link Brother. Also call through me, then eventually I'm the one that bring them down. Okay, I think the whole message behind this is make use of all these effective communication tool. Video is very effective to communicate a good thing to a client, right? Listings or education content, right? Send the link, your client listen already, right? Realize, oh yeah, now I know got 70 technique to buy industrial property. Oh yeah, who take action? Action through you lah. 好吗? Okay, so once again, please go to YouTube, Chris Choo channel, subscribe. Okay, now I love this topic. It's called mistakes and more mistakes. Agent make a lot of mistakes. To be honest, some of these mistakes, I wish I've never made this mistake. I guess many of us, especially the more 老教 agent, we come from an environment in the past where there isn't a lot of training. A lot of trainers are not so wholehearted to tell you the trick of the trade. Some trainers will say, no, you make mistake, then you learn from it, which I can acknowledge that is true. Because through mistake, that I realized, wow, I'll never make the same mistake again. For me, I never want my trainee like you to ever go through any of these mistakes. Why? Waste time, waste money, you get demoralized, your loved ones are affected. Okay, so over the next few segments, all right, please take note, all right, do not ever make these mistakes. So what are they? Okay, 10 common mistakes in this property. Number 1, bad paymaster, also known as chao ka. Tenancy sign already, the tenant don't pay on time. Question is it really a problem? Not really. Based on the CA guideline, I mean, our duty, we discharge our duty of care as long as a tenancy agreement is signed and handover is done. However, what happened after that, don't pay on time, also my problem? Rightfully not a problem. However, in view of rendering a more full-fledged service, all right, such that when it comes to tenancy renewal, your landlord wants to renew it through you, or in the course of 2 years, you are also very well connected to your landlord, then you want to do what? Then you can prospect him for other things, right? So this is how I want to let you not make any of this chao ka problem. People don't pay you on time. Number 1, in your contract, I suggest you have a clause that says payment is via gyro/standing instruction. And in it, you already written landlord's bank account number, bank code, branch code. So it's called express clause. I think all lawyers will tell you express clause means it is what? It is executable in the eyes of the law. All right, black and white, nothing to talk. So when you put this in a clause, all right, tenant will feel more what? Responsible, because there's a black and white. Right? So how do you do it? How to do it is once you do a TA, when you are about to let the tenant sign, do you agree that when tenant about to sign a contract, is their happiest moment? Yes? Or yes?
Yes.
Yes. Definitely yes. Oh, wow, sign TA, everybody's very excited, landlord and tenant. So that's the moment when they let out the defense. Anything you want them to sign, they will sign. Anything you want to agree, they also agree. Agree? So I think that's the time where you want to introduce this TA together with the gyro form. Your gyro form already filled up already. Your tenant's bank account number, let's say your tenant gives you a UOB check at the point of an LOI. Then you know he's using a UOB bank. So you can also, based on the check number, you can also fill up his bank account number. Fill it in under the tenant section, which is here. Fill up the landlord's detail according to this arrow here. Right? Fill up all the amount like rents, or the rent is supposed to be 2004 plus GST. That will out with 2568. And the 3-year contract, right? You see, this is a 3-year contract. So the first month already paid by what? By check, right? Payment of rent in advance before you start the tenancy by check. Then the balance 35 months by what? By gyro, and payments on the 1st of each month, right? Then you see 1st of each month in the contract, it stated you start on the 1st month there. So when you have this form, pass it to the tenant, tenant sign TA, tenant also sign here. All right, collect back the form. All right, photocopy, 1 copy for you and 1 for the landlord. All right, landlord will be very happy you want. 拿你来抱, carry you and hug. Why? Because you protect the landlord's interest. Then this form, you send it to the bank, post by bank. Post it to the bank. And believe me, for the next 35 months, you have a peace of mind. Rental is almost guaranteed. Of course, there are cases where tenant deliberately, all right, take out the standing instruction. So you know that the tenant is already going through either financial hardship or they're already planning to have doing something very negligent. So at least you have time to react to them. But in the course of normal tenant, I'll say a good 90-95% of tenants, most of the time tenants are very busy, they forget to pay rent, all that. So never let the tenant's problem become your problem and become landlord's problem. So you do this, everybody will be happy. Problem solved. Good. By the way, you can also execute it in your residential tenancy agreement. All right, because it's the same way. All right, and then you're going to have a peace of mind. Next, this is my pet topic. My question to everybody is, right on top of you down here is OTP, and it's written as such. So my question to everybody down here is, how much is the selling price of this property? I want you to go to annotate, put a tick in the respective A, B, C, or D box. Thank you, Annie. Annie, put a dot lah. Dot, put a tick lah, put a tick. Thank you, Annie. All right, Annie says B. Wow, Gerard, your tick is what? I make you angry. Why your tick so big? Like that, very scared. Okay, Heather says A. Catherine, B. Bernard, B. Terence, A. Linda cannot follow instruction, cannot put tick. Never mind. I think Linda means A. Thank you for the effort. Thank you, Linda. A. Peter, B. Jean, C. Thank you, Jennifer. Jennifer, C. Jason, B. Hey, sure not. Some of you down here not sure, just put D lah. It's okay. I'd rather you admit you don't know that you keep quiet. But whoever don't know, not sure, put D. It's fine. Thank you, Justin. C. Thank you, Bak Yong Lei. A. It's okay. I'm going a bit slow, but I thought this is a very important part that we need to know our contract. Okay. Now, do you realize it's quite a good mix? 4 of you think C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you think is this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is A. D, not sure. Then the rest of you, no opinion one. You're doing what? Don't be lah. There's only how many of you? Only 16 of you answer. Believe me, an agent who do not even dare to give an answer, right, will not be successful. I dare to tell you this. Either you bochap, right, or you cannot even commit to give an answer that you think is the answer.
On the chat group, because cannot use annotate.
I understand. That's why some of you use drawing, I understand. Okay, right. I'm saying this forgive me if I sound firm, but we are in team building, we know long enough lah. Important is try lah, give the answer, or that we all learn together. Okay. 谢谢大家的答案. Thank you. Now, very fun, so many different answers. Now, if I look at this contract, a lawyer will look at this contract, right? The lawyer answer would be, okay. The lawyer will take it as, the selling price is 727,600. And depending whether you are seller lawyer or buyer lawyer, right? The seller lawyer will say, yeah lah, it's 727,600, whichever is in the interest of their client. Agree? But the buyer lawyer or the buyer will say, oh, no. This is not what I meant. I meant that this is the price inclusive of GST. So this is the answer. See, that's why it becomes very contentious, guys. You all realize that? Right. So it could be a situation where, no, this is the selling price, so I need plus 7% GST. So actually C become the answer. Okay. Now, most important, right? In a case of a conflict resolution, right, we always go back to the intent. All right. The intent is clearly the agent wants the answer to be B. Right. So I recommend, all right, you just put the best way is to write the answer as B, 680,000. Then subsequently you can write with prevailing GST and all that. So the answer is B. The question is, how do you write it in the contract? All right, friends, at this moment, I'd like to share with you this case study. Agent Mike was acting for the seller. Seller is a private name. I call him Mr. Tanakao, who sold the factory for 680,000. The buyer is buying under personal name because the buyer is not GST registered. 1 week before legal completion, it was discovered that there is GST on the sale of this property. What has gone wrong? Right, friends, this case study, I am the agent Mike. I remember vividly this case happened to me was almost 8 years ago when I was tasked by the seller to sell this property. I did. The buyer came in and bought it. It was my direct buyer. The buyer specified very clearly, no GST, Chris. All right, but I'm not GST registered. Don't expect me to pay GST. And then at the end of it, I transacted. Everything was going fine. My family and I, we went to Japan for a holiday. So there I was standing up on the mountains, snowing background, snowing mountain at the background. Everything was white, but there was one thing that was black, my face. I received a phone call. I do not know what to do. I felt so lost. Why have I screwed up? Why is it that now there's GST? In the first place, what should I have done? How should I have written it in the contract? What went wrong? I also don't even know. The next question that was raging through my mind is, oh no, somebody had to pay for it. 7% of 680,000. Oh my God, it's 40 over 1,000. Oh no, do I have enough money to pay for it? Is it my buyer pay for it? To be honest, my holiday was completely ruined. What has gone wrong? Right, first and foremost, what I did not do is to do a GST check. What is the GST check? What is a GST check is whenever your client wants you to start marketing, check on Tanakao's name first. Go on you can do a Google for GST registry. Okay, and then the link will pop up. You click on it. And then you can key in whatever name that you want. For example, if the client name is called Tanakao, you want to check whether Tanakao himself, as a personal name, is he GST registered. I did not do that. I assume that Tanakao personal name will equals to personal name equals to no GST, but that is completely wrong. Because personal name can also be GST registered. Either as a Tanakao name, or he can be a sole proprietor, like us. As a property agent, we are sole proprietor. We can also GST register our own name so that we are GST exempted. Sorry, not GST exempted, so that we can charge GST and we can claim that GST. My main point to everybody is I didn't check. It was only online, only take 1 minute, I didn't check because I assume personal name equals to no GST. Wrong. Now, if it's a company name, or you put Lim Yo Hock name, you realize that, Lim Yo Hock name, okay? So I go back again. Now, if let's say Tanakao name have GST, you realize that Tanakao name, you appear with a GST number, all right? And then there will be something called date of deregistration. If his name is still GST registered, all right, under the date of deregistration will be a dash. Then you can see the date of registration is 2003. So that means today, anything that Tanakao want to sell, he must sell at 680,000. plus GST, and my buyer will have to pay GST. The question is, my buyer don't want to pay GST because that was his specific instruction, condition of sale. Xiao liao lo. How to solve? Come to that later. All right. So right now you check under Lim Yao Hawk's name, bola, 0. Don't have. By key prop next, you realize that, wow, okay, there are a total of how many? 5 entities, all got GST number 1, all got registration, all never deregister. So anything that is bought under this 5 company name or transact, all must come with GST. Okay, so remember, Google for IRAS GST registry. Okay, now let me show you the model answer to our earlier case study, Mike, and also the this one, and then my case study. Now, this is my suggested answer. Now, when you want to write in the contract, make it crystal clear. How? If you are representing the seller, your job is to protect the seller, so you must write it as 680,000 plus prevailing GST if applicable. Okay, right? The other way around, if you are protecting the buyer, all right. If you're protecting the buyer and you're serving the buyer to close, right, with your seller agent, you must write it in your offer to purchase document or behind the check, right? That my price 680,000. Oh, and then below writing the clause, no GST is to be imposed onto purchaser in any circumstances. Okay, all right. So when the respective lawyer reads an express clause like that, they would know that it's crystal clear. If eventually the deal turned out to be 680K, they realize that, hey, actually this one must pass GST. And it becomes very clear already that no GST is to be imposed on who? On the purchaser. Cannot impose. So that means what? The seller need to sell it at 680,000, which is inclusive of GST. So at this moment, everyone, can you take out your calculator? You put 680,000. You divide it by 1.07. Okay, so rightfully the sale is only 635,000. Okay, I just round that off okay, 514 This is the sale. Then plus 7% GST. Right, so this is the price that eventually the seller will get the balance amount of almost, I don't know how much, 7% of this amount, right? Of this GST amount. In short, GST seller will get it, but eventually he need to pay off to IRAS. So his take-home price is only the lower 635,000. Are you with me? Most important, I say this is because whether you're protecting the seller, protecting the buyer, so you can write it in 2 different ways. This way or this way. In your notes, okay, you can follow your notes. Okay, next problem. Company registration not done yet. Guys, quite often you will have tenant who will come up to you and say they want to rent your unit. However, they say, oh, but my company not set up yet, but they still wish to rent or buy your property. Particularly if you're serving investors from one of those investment group, they want to view first, and when they're about to buy, then they will quickly set up a company, right? So do not once again say no, because procedurally they haven't set up a company yet. That's why they can't buy. No, not true. So by doing so, right, you actually lose the deal entirely, right? To who? To somebody who are trained in my class, PCT, because they know what to do. So what is one way you can circumvent this? Okay, right, in the letter of intent, you can sign the letter of intent under the tenant personal name first. All right, instead of ABC Private Limited, I put it under Mr. Tan Akao name first. Then when you do the actual TA, which can be executed within 7 days, then under the tenancy agreement name that you put under what? The ABC Private Limited that was just newly incorporated. Okay, Likewise, if it's a sale, all right, you can always put the OTP under Mr. Tan Akao personal name and or nominee. So within the next 2 weeks, when the tenant have set up a company called ABC Private Limited, he can then exercise the option under ABC Private Limited. End day, do you get the deal? Yes and yes, both deals will be closed. No floor plan, another big problem on the ground. Because I always gonna a lot of tenant agent come up to me and say, hey, Chris, I want to rent your unit, but give me floor plan. But I don't have floor plan. No floor plan, then my tenant cannot plan. Then I cannot do LOI. Then that's where we get come into a head-on collision. So the way to circumvent this, all right, guys, all right, is to get the floor plan. Right, you can go to you take a picture of the floor plan at the lift lobby. We all know, right, at the lift lobby, by building regulation, there always be a floor plan. All right, so that floor plan, you can crop to get the floor plan that you need, because that's the entire floor plan, level 6 floor plan. But you need the floor plan of your unit, that you crop. So eventually you look something like that. You take a picture of that level 4 floor plan, then you crop. Actually, I only want 0411. You crop. Then you give that 0411 floor plan to who? To your co-broke agent, to their interior designer. Then eventually they can do their own ID inside to see whether the space layout, how long. If need be, they can also like plug in the case of a nicely renovated unit, where are the existing walls, right? So all this can be drawn in by their designer. Most important, at the end of it, solution. Rather than say, no floor plan. So if there are floor plan, you can use the level 4 floor plan for a start. Good? Good answer? Can, this is all tested and proven, show work. Inventory list, very common when I do deals. Your co-broker say, bad unit, no need inventory list, nothing to hand over. Nothing to hand over means what? No? Means got key, I also won't give it back. No? At the end of the tenancy, the key also won't give it back to you. So it's not true. So especially when you're doing a sale, what happens when you sell this bare unit with tenancy? The lawyer will start to say, sale must come with inventory list, because got tenancy. No inventory list, then how do we administer the exchange of inventory items? So, solution. Come up with a simple inventory list that document all the minute item. Can be total 2 main door key, 1 letterbox key, 1 fire extinguisher, and how many? 2 wooden main door. You think it's a joke? Wooden main door also go and inventorize, man. Because wooden door really go missing. Because I got a unit where the main door, which is fire rated door, the wooden door go missing. Eventually they put in a fire rated glass door. Sorry, they put in a normal glass door, not fire rated. So eventually landlord was not happy because it's actually contravening the building code. No fire rating for the door. Now, copy inventory like that. Do a simple one, no? There, or main door got how many fire extinguisher, how many toilet bowl also inventorize. You find a bit quite like unnecessary. But it's a right way to wayang lah. Or write it in, right? At least there's something that's being passed on. So in the event that a tenant moved out, or in the event of a sale, right? The lawyer will look at it as okay lah. There's a proper inventory list. Although lawyer not going to stare at it and say, hey, how come the toilet bowl also you write? At least it looks complete. Then if possible, you can take a photo of the unit. Sign off. Okay. Next, reinstatement. Mistake, telling the tenant that they cannot renovate. Telling the tenant that they must reinstate back to original condition, which is common in commercial offices. Keyword original. Because in a lot of commercial REITs, the so-called original is what? Bring back to the bare condition when it was handed over, concrete state. Okay, but in case of a strata unit, very often the renovation is already done there. So the original condition is the time when it's handed over, the state that was handed over. In this case, there it's renovated, got cupboard, got glass, got carpet, that's the renovated state. So do not expect the tenant to what? 2 weeks later move out, all these things to tear down for you. No, doesn't work that way. Right? So Right. I like to always introduce some of the clauses in contract. All right, to give the tenant some surety lah. That okay, Mr. Tenant, I give the permission to renovate lah. So whatever renovation, basically in short lah, landlord give you the permission to renovate, but all at tenant's cost. Landlord happy with you, very happy lah, because they go ahead and renovate it to the way they like. Putting gold tap lah, gold toilet bowl lah. Never mind. Most important is all at tenant's cost and discretion. Keyword: 2 years later, want to move out already. How? All right. I would like to include this clause that says reinstatement to the premise is to the original handover condition, which is this date. If you ever tear down my glass wall, I expect the glass wall to be back up there. If you take away my cupboard, all right, I want the cupboard to be back up there, at least on contract. However, if it's mutually agreed otherwise upon expiry the lease, landlord come in and say, oh wow, you take away my cupboard. Yes, but you put up a gold cabinet there. Okay, well, landlord is also happy that you make the place in a more tenantable state. No? Or you remove the glass. Landlord say, hey, wow, you take out the glass, feel better. The place feel more voluminous. Sorry, feel more spacious. Or landlord say, oh, better. Don't want to have the glass back, better. Is it mutually agreed? It is. So that's how we want to solve problem right from the start using clever tenancy clauses. Okay. The rent-free period. All right. Write it in your notes. I think there's some blank in your notes, right? The problem on the ground is you're giving tenant or landlord wrong expectation, causing deal to burst. Right. Sometimes you see a unit like that, right? You're serving tenant without consulting the landlord agent, right? You just tell tenant, oh yeah, you want a rent-free period, how long? Oh, you want a rent-free period 2 months. Oh, why you want 2 months? Oh, because all along my landlord in my other unit give me 2 months. Okay, I write for you LOI, 2 months. So ended up, right, you give the tenant the wrong expectation. End up tenant, what? Later say shorter rent-free period, they don't want. Why? Because sometimes we do not know how to stop them right from the start. Whatever start writing, they start to have their expectation set very high. So, what's the best way to solve this? Use typical rent-free guideline. All right, this is a golden number. I want all of you to remember as today's 4D number. 今天的头奖号码是024. Yeah, only 3 number only. Got 024. Rent-free moving condition, 0 rent-free period. Semi-fitted unit, 2 weeks rent-free period. Bad condition unit, get longer 4 . So remember 024. All right. This is not cast in stone, but it's quite an industry acceptable guideline. I say this also not cast in stone because there are cases where this one can go up to 8 weeks. Why? Because in today's context, really hard to get labor. Landlord say never mind since I'm empty for so many months, you give you 8 week rent free. Or right, this place is 10,000 square feet. Very big really need a lot more time to renovate. Also common with the landlord give a longer rent free. Are you with me? So at least you know it's 024. But at the same time be aware, right? It's still subject to final negotiation. Break lease. Break lease good or no good? Okay, I'd like to hear your opinion, right, guys? I'll put it in the chat group here. All right, I want to know, break lease, is it good or no good? You put good. Sorry, you put good or bad. You put it in the chat group. Break lease, is it good or bad? Good. Terence say good. Sandy say good. Terence, Sandy, you're very sick. Betsy also say good. Joanne say depend, not bad. I think Joanne got hard one. Both more calm the market. Thank you, Gerard. True, it's good or bad, depending on who. Generally, good. That's right. Sometimes break lease is bad because tenant business is bad. So quite poor thing the tenant need to move. Sometimes tenant break lease is good for them. You know why? 1,000 square feet too small. I do logistic business. Now COVID, I need to have a warehouse 5,000 square feet. They actually good. Break lease, they're happy. Right. At the end of it, my friends, do we all agree? Break lease is good for agent. Yes? Why? Because then now agent got things to do. You can serve the outgoing tenant who pay you commission to find an incoming tenant. So you got commission. Landlord happy not? Hey, landlord say, oh, I'm happy that as long as there's no disruption to my tenancy, I still get my rent on a back-to-back basis. Landlord happy, right? So I think keyword is how do we manage all this? All right, in contract, we want to include a special break lease clause. In law, we call it express clause. So there's no argument that landlord will say, no, I don't allow you to move. You want to leave now, you pay me for the unfulfilled duration of the lease. Then tenant say, siao unfulfilled duration of the lease, I pay you rent, I must well stay down and leave it empty. 要死一起死了, want to die, we all die together. Correct? So that's why some things we want to preempt beforehand, especially tenant, you foresee that they're going to be doing very well. They know that you're going to use your unit as a stepping stone to move on to something bigger. You may want to already have this special clause to include a contract that looks like that. Now, in the event that tenant needs to leave the tenancy agreement, it can only be done such that the landlord is not put in any disadvantaged position. Landlord read already, song, which include tenant is to secure a replacement tenant, and if a lower rent is secured, the difference is to be made up by the tenant for the unfulfilled duration of the lease. So by having this clause become expressed, right, that it can be done. All right, and tenancy really like, okay, good, they give me this ability to exit. All right, so this clause come in, landlord also don't argue that I don't allow you to leave. Then agent will come in to do what? To find a replacement tenants. Win, win, win. Power supply. No power supply. How? Tenant do not turn on power supply. Then during the handover, no electricity, you turn on the lights, the aircon, how to test. Then by the time you turn on the supply, realize everything is spoiled. Then the so-called 1 month defect liability period, where does it start? No, a lot of argument on the ground, this kind of thing. So how to solve it? Once again, the happiest time to sign the TA and any other form is the time when the tenant is signing the TA. So TA that time also bring along your SP services form. Let the tenant also sign. Then deposit need to collect, all this one-shot collect. So normal unit, right? Deposit is 300 plus 1,003. This is for water, this is for electricity. Total 1,650. You ask them for a check to SP Services Limited, right? Do them this favor as a service. All right, submit a form and a check to SP Services. Toa Payoh downstairs have submit. You realize? No problem at all. Right? On the day of handover, you know that somebody will come and turn on the power supply. All right, the tenant also don't worry about jialat. How do I do it? So I think this added service will bring you a long way in solving your own problem. And in the eyes of the tenant, right, it's actually you're giving them a value added service. Good. Good. Okay, mother of all problem is called mezzanine. This article came out not too long ago. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Ian Ting, just now sharing with me that you have a listing in Apex. All right, this article came up exactly because of a buyer's problem with the agent in Apex. Right? Not too long ago, when this investor bought this unit, all right, actually buy a lot of unit. Buy how many units? Buy Sibei Zui. Buy how many? I don't know. I think she bought 2 only. Okay. Obviously, the strata space is 5,001. By the time she moved in, she realized, how come the place feels so small? All right. And then upon discovery, they realized, actually the air space was also part of strata. That's why the per square foot there sounds very cheap when they bought it, only 900 plus. Yeah, only 900 plus per square foot. Sounds very cheap, but for freehold. Where else, nearby 60 years one, only left 40 plus, already 700 plus per square foot. So it's a no-brainer. That's where problem arises because of airspace. Now, this is how it looks like. Guys, let me just empower you to do airspace identification. Yes, it's the same as a residential. They call a void. Right? In your floor plan, you see a dotted line. I see a dotted line. See a cross, right? So whatever above the cross is airspace, double volume, likely to be 6 meters or higher. All right. So when you see this, in fact, now it's mandated by law. All right, whatever floor plan notice, you must write it in. In fact, they even give a breakdown of space or balcony, how big airspace, how big All right, so that the buyer is fully aware. All right, when they make the decision. GFA, just for everyone's knowledge, right? GFA, okay, I derived this from a URA handbook. Complex topic, but most important, we look at definition. Okay, GFA is the total area of the covered floor area measured between the center of the party line, including the thickness of the external wall, but excluding void. See the word "but" very loud, but excluding void. Then how come void can be sold? Then how come void can be part of my strata space? Well, I leave you to think about it. That is how problem on the ground, because everybody will got a lot of questions. And until today, I got no answer to this. But most important, as an agent, once again, as an investor and agent focus for today, right? We don't want to be the analyzer till paralyzed. Analyze till paralyzed. We also don't want to be the technician. We also don't want to be the authority, try to decipher the rules and definition. We're not here to change the world, guys. We're here to change the way we work so that we are good investor and good agent. Now, we just want to understand how it works and navigate to become a better agent. Now, question to everybody is, look at this space. My question to everybody is, what is the strata size? Can you put a star put a star into the respective A, B, C, D, E box? Thank you. Thank you, Jean, B. Thank you, D. Jason, D. Interesting, First three answers all different already. A, B, D. Okay. Wow, now B got supporter. Wow, Gerard got supporter. Go for A. All right. George says D. Good. Wow, sorry, D. A lot of answer. Thank you, Kaden. Thank you, Lee Mei. B. Thank you, Justin. D. Catherine Lai says D. Heather, D. Alice, D. Bak Yong Lei, D. Good. Why nobody put E? Thank you, Kaden. Your star over the place. Good, guys. I enjoyed it when you guys participate, because then I know how many of you will make mistakes, which is great. We are in a very safe environment to make mistakes, guys. Make mistake here and laugh about it, right? They will all learn. Rather than go up, make some mistakes, and then we get some sticky issues, right? Okay, E, good. Finally, somebody said E. Yes. What's C bo answer? C bo lang I. Okay. All right. Fantastic, Now, people who think, okay, A, got two person put A, right? Now, A, probably you add up this and this. Whole ground floor, the whole ground floor, yes, that's called strata. In a typical unit where you do not have the mezzanine, don't have this high void area, right? Probably your answer is right. Now, in this context, just remember, developer is all top priority is to maximize the space, or rather maximize the what? Sellable space. It may not be a place you can step on. They call it sellable space. They can sell, they will take already. All right. So the strata size is also considered the sellable space. So now we look at 1,002. That means you add this, plus this, right? 1,002, right? You're right. In some building, if the mezzanine is built by the occupier themselves, the 200 square feet here, they build themselves. The answer is actually A, because this area is what they bought last time. Then they add in this one. Right. This 200 square feet they add in is actually not part of the strata. Right. So actually the answer is A in the kind of situation. You understand me? However, sometimes you market it as 1,002 square feet. Why? Because you take the 900 plus 100 plus 200, also known as the place you can step on, then you market it for rent as 1,002. You know what, guys? You're not wrong, right? Because that is indeed the rentable space, the space you can step on. Nothing wrong. However, if you're looking to sell, right? That's why we need to be a bit more cautious. We want to look at what the strata size in the English lah. Because English will typically add up 900, 1000, 2000, and you add up this one also, the void space. So answer is what? D. In this case, it's D. Okay. Actually, all of you is wrong. Answer is E. This is the correct answer, E. Really depends. Because in some building, I say this because in some building, when you, I take for example, there's a building called Enterprise Hub, somewhere in Toguan. Back then, many years ago, when it was sold at the launch stage, right? It was sold as what? It was sold as 1,002 square feet. Right. Subsequently, at one point, right, they gone through this exercise, where I think it was they go through this exercise where their strata size was changed from 1,002 to 2,000. So suddenly, like everybody got like a windfall. How come suddenly my strata size become 800 square feet bigger? But that also means your per square foot suddenly drop. Agree? So on the ground, there was until today, you look at some of the resale transactions of Enterprise Hub. Well, you find it very confusing. Why some unit 5,000 square feet, some unit 2,005 square feet only? Because some of the owner didn't go and change it with the land title. Okay. Now, I don't wish to talk about outlier, which is a bit complex. We talk about the norm. Normally, I would say a good 90-95% of the time, answer D. Oops. All right, this is how it looks like in the newer building like Austin Beach Hub, North Point Beach Hub. All right, whatever they built on top, the concrete one, right? Oops. Concrete one. This concrete one is definitely part of the strata size one, because developer will have backed up their GFA when they build. Agree? Agree, yeah? Making sense? Yes. Now, you see the staircase? It's concrete, right? Concrete staircase is the strong indication, right, that these are built by the developer, right? So it's a rigid staircase, means it's actually part of the GFA. And I say this because there are cases where let's say the building is quite old, you don't know whether is it part of strata space or not. Right? You see, this one is being built maybe by concrete. You see a staircase? Okay, it's a movable staircase. Right? This is a creative way where some of the end user they know if it's a movable staircase, right? It's considered it's like a temporary structure. So when authority come and check at that time, right, they'll say, oh, no, this is not fixed structure. So on top, whatever I do, right, is legal. Are you with me? Okay. Great question to everybody. What is the problem with this premise? All right, you can write in onto my screen. Go to annotate. You can type in the answer and put it on my screen. You can draw arrow, also can. For those who are not able to annotate using your devices, you can also somehow write it in the group chat, also can. Or you can write it on my screen, also can. Whatever it is that you feel comfortable. Question, what is the problem with this premise? You can circle it if you want to, draw arrows, you can write on it. Oh, wow, okay. Jean has drawn on it and George also circled look at the sprinkle head. What's wrong with it? Okay, Heather. Well, everybody's focusing on the sprinkler head. Oh, okay. I think Bernard meant sprinkler head need to be pointing downwards, is it? Because the sprinkler head now is pointing up. I realize the sprinkler head should be pointing down. Good point, Bernard. Very good. Floor too close to the sprinkle. Okay, good. That's correct also. It's true. To be honest, when I go up to this mezzanine, I stand, I can't have my head already. it's like like Lord of the Rings, the Hobbit's house. Everything feels very miniature. When a man go into the Hobbit's house, you hit another the ceiling. Well, in the first place, this is definitely an illegal structure, guys. Definitely illegal. Whatever structure you build, right? The main thing is you are not allowed to put people on top. By right, you can only put goods on top. Storage, no problem. You cannot put office, cannot put a meeting room. By right, cannot. Unless the structure is provided by the developer in concrete, then can. This is definitely not concrete. They put some metal structure below, then they just do it. So it's wrong. So a sprinkler head pointing downwards, right? Even point downward, the water flow like that, right? The water doesn't flow to the downstairs below the mezzanine. So the FSB come and check this unit will definitely fail one. Okay, right? Now, friends, the reason why I show you this is not for you to become a FSB, Fire Safety Bureau officer, or become, I don't know, like a enforcer, go inside and start to tell your landlord, hey, it's not illegal. Don't. All right. Good agent is one that's very aware, but don't talk too much. You're aware, right? So that if you are being asked by your co-broker agent or by your buyer, all right, you are able to say the right thing, enough for them to be aware that there is this occurrence, all right, but not so strong in your words until they feel very discouraged that, oh, in that case, everything problem, this one problem, in that case, I don't want to buy. Because that's the last thing you want for yourself and for your seller. Okay, so it's very common that deals are closed in spite of having all this illegal structure, right? It's as is where is condition. Believe me, industrial buyer to them is illegal. Doesn't matter. I like it. I buy over. I can also continue to use it as an illegal structure because I want my office to be upstairs. My main point to everybody is we are not in a position as agent, all right, to query how the tenant want to use the space for. Our role, all right, is to represent the facts and let the client decide. I say again, it's our role to present the facts if being asked. I say again, if being asked, all right, and let the client decide. At the end of it, they can say, no, I don't want this. Can you tear it down for me? Landlord can say, okay, I decide, I tear it down for you. The deal still go through. Or the buyer can say, oh, no, I think it's fine. Since you do so tastefully, everything's so cozy. Okay, I buy over with all this. At the end of it, the deal is closed in the interest of everyone. All right. Okay, right, guys, the main thing, the next thing I want to share with you is about mezzanine again. Keyword, choice of words. Always use the word strata. You will never be penalized if you use the word strata. Why? Because strata size is also the size that is being shown in the English. Only use the strata size for marketing purpose. And when you represent all these things via words to your client, always use the word strata. I say again, do not use the word floor area. You see, when you use a very generic word like floor area, that's where misunderstanding happens. The buyer will say, you told me floor area 2,000, then how come here it looks smaller? Or otherwise. All right, so solution, always use the term strata size. Sometimes when the client will say, hey, how come like the way they build the structure doesn't look like they got approval, all right? So what I usually like to do is I like to walk them down the corridor and point to them, this other neighbor is doing this, the other neighbor is doing this. But my main point to you as good agent friends is really not to say what is right, what is wrong, but it's showing what is the norm. Because industrial property generally, in one way or another, right, there will be some kind of a structure that may or may not have gone through approval before. Likewise, many of you down here may be landed properties owner. I think we all know landed properties, there will always be some kind of illegal structures. All right. That's the way it is. We just need to be aware and acknowledge. So assure the client that it is the norm. All right. And if you need to use mezzanine floor, if your client want to build, right, use a movable staircase, the one I showed you earlier on. This one, this part movable, got wheels. So this staircase can slide one. So authority come and check and say, no, this is a what temporary structure. Okay, slide point. Okay, good that just now, I think one of you were asking me during an FAQ about change of use, because this is a very common challenge agent will face. Become why? Because not your problem become your problem. You know why? Because every time the tenant don't know, is it agent, you go and check it. The agent check become like agent's problem if something goes wrong. So if you ask me personally, right, this is something that's very unfair. When it comes to authority checks, change of use, with the I'm of the opinion, all right, that anything that change of use, right, should be undertaken by the client themselves. You check yourself, because agent check. Maybe the way we write to the authority, the way we write differently, and some of the authority respond to us differently. You know, if we are the agent or if we are the client, we don't know. So we don't wish to have a misunderstanding as a result of wrong choice of words or terminology. At the end of it, all right, any information is being what is being communicated differently. Now that doesn't mean that we say no, analog everything is no. Then agent 做什么? Your client will say, yeah, I go and use another agent. But the agent can help me. So one of the things that I can suggest, which is simple for you to help, is use the precedence of the building as a gauge whether actually this building is it possible you can go through change of use of what nature? Can I give an example? I use Oxley Pizza. Now, if today your tenant come in, right, and say, hey, Mr. Landlord Agent, I want to rent this space. I want to use supermarket. I want to convert it to supermarket. Then you're not so sure. Either you go write to ERA, take a long time, a lot of effort, or you can go through edge prop under this inspector function. Then you see, 1 year ago, somebody have gone in and tried to propose a change of use or part of the unit from warehouse to become a mini mart. So there is a notice of refusal. So you can straight away tell them, answer is no, because there's already a precedent. Are you with me? So this is how you want to use the building precedent for you to give a sensible answer. All right, JTC article came out sometime last year in 8th of September. All right, the main gist of this whole article, over budget project, suspect illegal subletting flag. If you notice, right, out of the JTC investigated 2,792 out of the 26,000 business entity, they discovered 2,000 of these suspected cases have unauthorized subletting. Imagine 2010 out of 2,792 units they check has got some kind of unauthorized subletting. So my main point to everybody is this: if you want to thrive as a good industrial agent, all right, we need to acknowledge some norm on the ground. A norm on the ground is there. It's got, even JTC also know that, wow, sometimes they close one eye only. They don't want to check too thoroughly because they know the deeper they check, the more worms come out, the more no answer they have. No answer, right? So as it is already, the high percentage of the case already has got some kind of subletting issues and all that. So if your client asks you whether you take what you can advise, all right, your tenant asks you whether is it legal, illegal, all right, share with them this lah. Just say that this is the fact lah. We need to accept that some things are like that. If you wish to go through, go ahead. I think we're all here to administer the contract, moving ahead with the deal. Landlord also likewise be aware this is happening. At the end of it, right, let them decide. Present all facts, let them decide. Most of the time, they will still decide, okay, proceed on. As an agent, you still get what you dutifully is entitled to. All right, guys, good that we've gone through the 10 common mistakes. I think we talked about the Chao, how to present this to use the gyro form. Right, ambiguous GST terms. All right, I think we all know. All right, whether is it a personal name or company name. All right, please check under the IRAS GST registry. Okay, company registration not done, what do? All right, put it under personal name first, or nominee. Nominee. Okay, cannot find floor plan, use the level plan. Don't have inventory list, do a simple one. Reinstatement, all right, write it in contract, express clause. Rent-free period, 024. Break list, good for you, good for you, good for everybody. Go ahead and do the deal. Power supply, all right, is 1650 for normal case. Get the job done for your client. Mezzanine, just be aware of the that we want to use the word strata size, right? Not floor size. Use the word strata. And change of use, all right, you can use the edge prop, all right, inspector function to check. All right, guys, good. Okay, good. We want to move on to the next segment, right? Today we are progressing very well, guys. Good job, good job. All right, as I promised you, I think the best thing about industrial property is a natural progression for your client until a point where they cannot buy resi anymore. So it's a situation where they can sell one, all right, and then eventually they can buy one more resi from you first. Please go ahead and go and sell them your Normanton Park, all right, your Florence Residences, all right, your Bartley View, okay? Please go ahead, all right? There would be cases where after that, you put them in cold storage. Why? Because no more brain juice, you don't know what else can buy already. This is the answer. I'll guide you through how. All right, I'd like to introduce you to a different angle to sell industrial properties. All right, I'll teach you how to bend backwards and think out of the box. Right, if you can allow me to, I'm going to show you a video.
To buy your next property, are you prepared to pay additional buyer?
You can hear or not? Can hear?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Stamp duty. What if the additional buyer stamp duty is over $100,000? What do you say if this same $100,000 can be used as down payment for your next property purchase? My name is Choo, investor, speaker, mentor to property investors, and a leader to 50 over agents to seek out the best deal for our client. I specialize in commercial industrial properties. Why? To complement residential ones, as commercial industrial does not incur ABSD. Property investment is all about risk. It's all about BPP, Balanced Property Portfolio, defined as having a good mix between commercial and industrial and residential ones to ensure a maximum profit within a stipulated time. What is your hunger level in your retirement money? What method do you use to get the loan you need? Which property segment do you wish to enter? What's going through your mindset even before you invest? Most important, what are the mountains and obstacles that standing between you and success? Over the next few months, I'll be showing you SOP, sequence of purchase in your BPP. I'll be handpicked for you a few property that will outperform the rest in today's market condition. Walk with me. I'll show you investment-grade commercial and industrial properties. I'm Choo, building your balanced property portfolio with you.
Okay, hope you enjoyed the video. Now, I'd like to introduce how you can get your client to take action with you. How you can bring them out of your cold storage, warm them up, they realize that, last time you buy for me one, just buy one Normanton Park. Suddenly now, want to buy for me one more industrial property. Now, this is the first angle you can approach it. All right, it's called ABSD versus down payment angle. Now, imagine a PR first property, you need to pay how many percent ABSD? 5%. Okay, assuming 5% of a $2 million purchase, they will have to pay $100,000 to who? I rush right away. Could there be a possibility that this $100,000 can be channeled in a more meaningful way. The PR buy an industrial property, you put a 20% down payment, buy a $500,000 property, you realize that this 100,000 is paid for into your down payment instead of going to IRAS. Second scenario, a Singaporean buying a second property, prepared to pay 12% ABSD. Tolong. If they're prepared to pay ABSD, second residential, go and close first. All right, then you can take a commission. But however, some of them say no. They really think very long. They still say no. All right. So before they go to the cold storage, you tell them, no, I got another solution. Since you are worried about this 120,000 becoming your APSD for $1 million purchase, how about you buy industrial properties, you down payment 20%, all right, 600K purchase, same one. This 120,000 do not go to IRAS, but it goes into your own down payment. And you know what? You get to own one more industrial property. Option 3, foreigner, first property, prepare to pay 20% ABSD, tolong, go and close first. However, if this foreigner is very astute, telling you no for various reasons, because 800,000, you say no lah, I'm not going to do anything. Point to him, 800,000, he go and buy a $4 million property better, go and buy one shop house, go and buy one, for example, go and buy Apex at Henderson. All right, the time I transacted was 4.5 million. By the way, it's indeed to a foreigner. All right, because he has got a company set up in Singapore already, everything properly structured. Right, at the end of it, he thinks 20% of 4,800,000, same lah, better still lah, become my down payment. Why should I give the money to IRAS? Agree? Let us try to do a case study. All right, guys, now I need you to participate. If you are zoning out, okay, get yourself a drink, relax. Next few case studies is very important for you to be able to convert one of your cold storage customer to your one more transaction. Okay, we all try together. Now, Jack and Jill wish to buy a condo budget 1 million. Their combined income 10,000. They own one condo now. They do not wish to pay ABSD. Question: what do you propose? All right, I need you to go under annotate under the text. All right, you can write your answer wherever on the screen. All right, feel free to write anywhere on the screen, right, so that we can all examine your answers together. Hama? Okay, let's try. What would you propose? Right, you can even circle my question. Like some of the you know how our teacher in the past teach us how to tackle how to come up with an answer is you need to examine what's some of the things in the question that you need to take note of. Like now they read own one condo. ABSD, no. So this is some of the key things you need to identify first. So with this, how? Buy a commercial industrial. Thank you, Michael. How much? Okay, I know your proposal is commercial industrial. Thank you, Michael. Can you propose how much? How many? 1 industrial property at what budget? Or 2 industrial property at what budget? I don't know. Up to you. Up to you to think about it. Yes, I think the answer is correct. Buy a commercial industrial. Question is commercial or industrial? If it's industrial, what is the budget that you suggest? Okay, bearing in mind he got a budget of 1 million.
Hey, Chris, buy industrial commercial got TDS or LTV, right?
Yeah, there is a. If you are buying under your personal name. Okay, do not think so deep yet. Do not think of the TDSR company personal name portion yet. We'll tackle that in a while. Okay, we tackle this easy part first. Now to them is they want to buy $1 million property, all right? But you got one condo. They don't want to pay ABSD. So the answer is very, very obvious. Commercial, industrial. The question is like how many lah? Do you suggest like how many? 1, 2, 3 commercial, industrial. Budget should I be? Good. I see Michael say 2 times 500,000 industrial. Age. Don't ask me question, guys. You assume because you have the answer. Age. You can come up with the Jack and Jill. Let's say Jack is 30 years old. I don't know, 35. Up to you. Don't talk about age. Let's not complicate the matter by bringing some unknown. Thank you, Yen, about coming with the answer. Good, 2 times 100, 2 times 500,000. Okay, so typically, okay, never mind lah. Since the answer comes so slow, I give you answer lah. Oh, guys, we are moving a little bit slow. All right. Some of the things in mind is obviously the budget is 1 million. No, don't ABSD, right? Okay. Now, do we realize that if you have a budget of 1 million, right? Do we all agree that they have a cash budget of 250,000? Yes, because they want to buy 1 million, surely they have 250,000, 25% down payment, ma. So I'm sure they have 250,000 cash, maybe CPF combined, maybe. But for simplicity, I just take it as they got 250,000 cash. So you buy 1 or buy 2 industrial, that one, I think that is where we need to know what's a cash. Okay, that's the first point you want to take note. Now, I would propose to him 1 industrial property, 700,000, no ABSD. Reason is no ABSD, right? Down payment in today's context, right? We want to play safe, right? We assume that he can only do a 30% down payment. Oh, sorry, he can only do a 70% loan, I mean. So that means he need a 30% down payment, ma? Agree? So the cash he needs how much? 30% multiplied with 700,000. All right, it's 210. Okay. So does he still expect cash? When you take 250, which is his budget. All right, minus this one. So it's this minus this. He still got spare cash of 40K. So we want to plan in such a way where your client don't feel overstretched. So in this case, obviously, he's got 40K, being very financially comfortable in terms of cash flow. It is more likely that he will proceed with your plan. Agree with me? So in this case, suppose something at 700,000, 1 unit. Let's try the next one. Now, okay, it gets a bit more complex already when we talk about this other angle. Now, Resi LTV second property is how many percent? 45. Right? Industrial LTV second property still 80. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, up to 10. Don't care. It's still LTV 80%. That's the beauty of this. Right? Now, if you buy a second $1 million property, you definitely need a cash of how much? 55%. Down payment. So you need 550,000 cash. So if you got 550,000 cash, right, guys, will you agree with me? That you can buy any number of industrial property at 1 million. The cash needed for each one is 200,000. Hey, voila. There is a possibility that your client can buy 2 industrial property using the $550,000 cash. Especially in this context, your client say, I don't want to pay ABSD. Hey, I think this is one way you can channel them to think. And best thing is they can double their the rental income, because 2 unit, of course, obviously double. Agree? Okay. Now with this example in mind, all right, I'd like you to apply this 45%, 80% LTV kind of concept. Don't complicate the matter by thinking other thing. My case study quite straightforward, simple one. Or I would like you to try this case study, Jack and Jill. Okay, Jack and Jill wish to buy a condo budget, same thing, 1 million. Combined income, same, 10,000. They own one condo. Now, the cash available is 300,000. What do you propose? Now they're telling you it's cash, 300,000. Okay, I'm just looking at the group chat. Apologies, just now I didn't manage to see Linda Cheng's answer. I didn't get to see Joanne's answer, which was in the group chat. Okay, I acknowledge your answer. All right, now we're moving on to the second case study now. If you have an answer, you can also put in the group chat. I'm reading them now. Likewise, you can also write it on my screen. Under annotation, you can write it on my screen. Under text, try. You can try. All right, I give everyone a hint. Remember, if you're going to be buying, okay, or rather, they currently own one condo, and we can make the assumption that their current condo is under loan. So that means if they are buying the second condo, all right, their down payment is 55% because the maximum loan is only 45%. Agree? Yeah. So in that case, we need to examine whether they even have enough to buy condo. If not, what else can they buy? Thank you. Got answer coming from. Thank you, Michael. Okay, hang on. Good. Coming from Li Mei, Joanne. Okay, fantastic. Okay, sure. Buy one industrial 700,000. Li Mei says buy two commercial industrial 1,500,000. Okay. Joanne says they can buy office. Can. If you think office can jalan, you can try buying office. No problem. Okay, Li Mei, would you mind to turn on your voice? I mean, your voice. I mean your correct.
Yeah.
Can you
okay.
unmute?
I'll mute myself. Yeah.
Unmute already, right? Okay, good. I like your answer. I buy two commercial industrial 1,500,000. How did you derive at this answer? What was going through your mind?
Oh, I just based on your information said they have got cash available in 300K. So I just work it back. So say like because they can get 20% if they get loan for industrial commercial. So the first property they can buy is like 1 mil. So 20% is 200K. Then so then they left with another 100K. So work back. Then so it's 500K.
Okay. So you're purely based on the assumption that they can take up to 80% loan.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
And based on the cash they have. Yeah.
Okay, good. And you also max out the budget of 300K, right?
Yeah.
Okay, understand. Okay, good. I like your answer. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Good job, guys. All right, I'm getting some answers really good. Now, all right. First and foremost, do take note when you want to suggest. We want to understand whether is there any more loan on this condo. If there is, Resi loan is only up to 55% loan. Obviously, it's because it's a second loan. All right, so they need to do a down payment of 45. Hey, hang on. I thought it's the other way around. Resi loan, you can only loan 45. Down payment is 55, the other way around. Am I right? Now, what do you propose? Right, first and foremost, I would suggest, all right, they can consider 500,000 to industrial property. Okay, number one, because there's no ABSD. Okay. Number two, in terms of the affordability, I like to play safe. I use 30% instead of 20%, Liming. Why? Is because in today's context, some banks are getting a little bit more, selective. For planning purpose, you do 20%. I'm just worried that in the event you try to go for lag approval, they do not approve you based on 80% loan for various reasons. All right. Then they may feel disappointed. So if you can base on 30%, which is something which is quite certain you'll get it, right? I think that's a more robust way to make sure that there's certainty in them getting the loan. So if you take 30% multiplied by 500,000, all right, equals to 150,000. If I buy two times 150, total 300,000. Okay, so this is the part where I like you to be more aware. Use 30% instead of 20% to be safe. Of course, you can get 20% down payment. Sorry, if you can get a 20% down payment with an 80% loan, congratulations, it's a bonus . Is that all right? Okay. Let's try the next one. Right, this angle is called the Resi yield versus industrial yield. Now, your client will say, I want everything. Capital gain also have, freehold also want, or rental yield must be high, normal. Now, see, the thing that's very hard to tackle is when they say, our rental yield very high. Well, how high is high? Okay, that's where you want to show them. Okay, when you say high means, okay, I show you rental yield for residential. High means what? 5.2 is very high. Where is it? Evan Geylang. 4.5, very high. Where is this? It's a 60-year lease. 60-year lease from where? 60-year lease. Sorry, it's a 60-year property, not even a 99. That's why the rental yield is high, because you buy cheap. All right, 4.4 have Coven. Then you can see the rest. And many of them are, see, this one in Geylang, this one in Geylang, Central Residence also in Geylang. Sorry, Avon Residences, where, do you all know where is this? Cannot remember the location. Anyone knows? Can anyone help me on where's the location of Avon Residence? Never mind. You can think about it. Got the answer. You can just turn on your audio and tell me. Now, my main point to everybody is most of the high rental yield area, many of them is in Geylang. So you ask the question to your client: are you really in those locations? Because they are very cheap to buy and they get very good rental return. So the rental yield is high. You ask them, are you prepared for property that's not so sexy? Because truly, I go down there, it's very ugly, very dirty, very messy. They're not sexy to own one. Well, there's some who say, okay, what do you have in mind? Well, suggest to them industrial yield can be as high 9%, 7%, 8%. The lower one today, right, 4 point something. Quite common that we can get 5, 6, 7%. Today's context, very common. Okay, now see something can go as high as 9.8%. What's my main point, Mr. Client? If you want really high yield, this is one of your choice. Now let us try this case study, applying this slide to this case study. Check and you wish to buy a condo, budget say 1 million, income 110,000. They already own one condo as well. Their cash available, same, only 300,000. But they are very concerned about rental yield. They don't want that kind of negative cash flow. Like sometimes they say, oh, buy new launch. Okay, I buy already. My installment 4,000. Installment 4,000. My rental only 3,000. Haven't haven't added the property tax, maintenance fee. That's how some buyer will say, no, I got enough of residential. Well, think again, that could be another way out, another angle to you suggesting they buy something else. But they are very concerned about rental yield. They hope to have a positive cash flow. Question to everybody now. All right, what do you propose? Oh, thank you, Li Mei. Correct. I remember A1 Residences is in Aljunied. Yeah. Okay, Aljunied, also known as what? Geylang lah. Okay, guys, like to hear your answers. You can write it on my screen. Try lah, guys, write on my screen. If not, put it in a group chat. Like to see what you suggest. Even better still, you can even tell me, okay lah, I suggest 1 unit in Pioneer Center, 1 unit in Kaki Bukit, Kaki Bukit, KB, Synergy at Kaki Bukit. Well, I think that's become more fun now if you are able to suggest even come down to the actual building. You can try. Okay, I think today's class we are quite likely to overrun. At the same time, I will probably skip the last bonus segment because I don't think we have time to go through some of the bonus segment. Okay, guys, I'm trying my best to get the answer out of you. No point I give you answer lah. Answer after that. If you guys are not really trying your best to think, then it might be difficult for you to be able to react fast enough to your client sitting right in front of you. All right, Betty, 1 Vega, 1 Enterprise. Why? Why Vega? Why Enterprise? Yeah, give
rental yield,
huh? Why? Because rental
very high rental yield, 9.8%, is it? 9%. That is what he wants, Happy, lor.
Very good. Very good. Okay. 1 unit in Pioneer Point, 1 in Synergy. Okay. Well, are they high rental yield in Pioneer Point? Terence? Okay, check lah. Okay, thank you, Terence. Buy a leasehold and have a higher down payment. Good. Leasehold because the quantum will be cheap. You down payment a lot more so that your installment is low. Fantastic. Thank you, Jean. Finally, we have one of you who's really thinking very deep. I like this answer by Jean. Now, it's true. Happens so many times by my customer. I always tell you, not rental you. Always no cash flow. Then I will tell them one thing. You want very good cash flow? Don't take loan, no? Zero loan, then your $3,000 rental coming is 36,000 every year is your cash flow, See, that's where your client will also start to take you more seriously, where you're able to let them see out of the box to say like, oh yeah, true, the rental yield is, not rental yield, the cash flow is as a result of how much loan you take. The lower the loan, the more cash flow you have. But that does not make a property bad as a result of low cash flow simply because you need to take a high loan. All right, thank you, Jean. Sweet, you guys are really getting it ready. I'm really excited. Terence Pay, 8.6 Pioneer Point, Synergy 7.6, very good. Angel says, second property to buy, industrial, B1, Vega Plaza, a high rental yield, but buying price is high. Okay, good. I'm excited when you guys are responding with good answers. Then we can move on faster. Now when we talk about high rental yield, there's only two choices. You tell your client, okay, you buy Geylang Resi, no? You buy A1, no? They go down there, your tenant likely to be a bit more sophisticated ones, because they're a bit more complex. Some of the profile may not be very desirable. Is there anything wrong with them? To be honest, nothing. It's just that whether you are able to manage a tenant of those nature, tenant around the Geylang area. All right, positive cash flow, guys. When people want positive cash flow, right, point them to industrial property. Yes, you see, take less loan. Thank you, Jean. That's exactly what I'm thinking of. Take less loan. So what do I propose? I will propose one industrial property, 700,000. Why must down payment 20? Why must 30? I down payment one shot 40 lah, to reduce the loan for more positive cash flow. I took my down payment 40%, multiplied by 700K, 280,000 cash. You know what? Still got spare cash 20K. Your client will feel the care and concern that you're not trying to max out their budget until they got no more money for legal fees, stamp duty, and all that. Do have some spare cash for them. That would be lovely lah. Okay, you want the answer? Take a screenshot. All right, then you can, guys. Then you can try yourself. Try to do this one more time on your own. Good. Thank you so much, guys. Your answer is getting better. 加油加油，越来越好了。Loan under personal name versus company name. All right. Earlier on, one of you have highlighted this. Good. The truth is, if you do a loan under personal name, all right, your TDSR will be affected. Okay. Now, if you buy under company name, you can either buy under IHC, investment holding, or operating company. Keyword, operating company is good because it does not take your director income into TDSR. So that means your director can buy 10 property under operating company, right? The next time you can buy residential, no problem. His TDSR is not affected at all. Are you with me? Okay, now it gets more fun. Let's try this. Case study, same thing, Jack and Jill went up the hill to buy a condo or budget 1 million. Income 10K, they own one condo now with loan. Their cash is also 300,000. You know what? Jack got a company. What kind of company? I don't know. You ask lah. Oh? Question. All right, everyone. What do you propose? So very often when we meet up with our client, right, guys, we will often ask them a lot about their personal matters, about their loan ability, how many loan they have, how many property they have. I always make it a point, always ask them, actually, what do you do for a living? Then they'll say, oh, self-employed. It ends there. Make it a point to ask, self-employed, you mean, do you have your own private limited? Say, oh, yeah. Oh, they have a private limited. Then you ask, is it an operating company? How many years have you been running the company? Oh, 10 years already. Is it an operating company that constantly is trading some goods and services? Yes. Wow. Guys, you already have another very good prospect to work on. All right, because truly, some of these people who are so busy in their area of business, right, they forgot that they can buy more properties. They only think of buying one for their own use. But still, they're not even buying, they're just renting the current one for 15 years. And guys, I say this because it's I'm stalling for time lah. Joking lah. Because I'm still waiting for your answer. Alright guys, please think of the answer while I'm telling you the story lah. Because truly, I've seen many very, very sad cases where I meet up with the client and then upon more close heart-to-heart chat, I realized that they have been renting for the past 15 years. And we calculate 15 years multiply a rental for, let's say, 4,000 a month. Only then they realize that, oh, wow, you mean I spend so much on rent? Oh, wow, could I have done something better? Could I have buy one for my own use instead, and then buy another one for investment concurrently? Or if I already own one that I'm using for my own business, can I buy one more next door that I can rent out to generate rental return to supplement my operating business? At the same time, if I need to expand, I got one more unit next door. Think about it, guys. Your value to your client is a lot bigger than you think. Many of your clients really need your help. They really need you to show them like, oh yeah, because why? Nobody have ever walked through their door to prospect, let alone gone through PCT, then you're trained to ask them the right question. True or not true? Think about it. No answer? Oh gosh, what's going on? Okay, thank you, Jean. Ask Jack if the company is operating company. Is it a profitable business? Fantastic. Profitable means can take loan. Not profitable means maybe the loan amount need to be lower lah. Not say cannot take loan. All right. Is the operating company renting a premise? If yes, use the operating company to buy the property or set up IHC and buy the commercial industrial and use the current operating company to rent from the IHC. Oh wow. Jean, do you mind if you just turn on your? Do you mind if you unmute yourself?
Yes, Chris.
Okay, fantastic. Jean, I appreciate your answer. Are you a property investor yourself?
I have not invested in commercial yet.
Okay, but you do have a residential as an investment.
Yes.
Okay. Are you already planning to buy an industrial for your own investment?
Maybe after your course. Yes,
after my course. After my course. Okay. Have you also attended some other classes outside that you are aware of all these ways?
No, actually just the training given by yourself and the other two trainers that took place since 1st September. If I remember correctly, this is one of the kind of, I'm not sure whether it's really a case study, but it was mentioned. I kind of heard that this might be an option.
Yeah.
Just to elaborate a little bit further, it may occur in a sense of, for example, a doctor, he might have his own practice. So maybe he's renting the current premises for his business. So potentially, like then what you just mentioned about, wow, renting for so many years, it triggered me to think about, hey, I recall this example, so I just put it in. So what probably happened in the doctor case was that he would exactly what I mentioned. He actually buy the premises for his own use or set up a IHC and use his operating company to rent from the IHC. So it's like at least the expenses are, I mean, at least it's like a left and right pocket thing.
Yeah, that's right. Good luck, guys. I'm very happy that you are applying what you have learned from two trainers and also Alfred, I think, who covered the on this text portion, right? Because these are the knowledge, right, guys? Thank you, Jean, for sharing. That these are the knowledge that your client will really value you compared to someone else who's just normally prospecting them, right? Because you go beyond that of an agent, you guide them on text. Hey, believe me, this knowledge of buying under A company, then rent to B company, whereas A and B company actually owned by the same person. These are all the higher level knowledge that you guys will really will value add your client very much. Right? Yes, I think that's the answer I'm actually looking for. Jack has got a company, buy under company or personal name. Sorry, company name or personal name. Think about it. In this case, I think company name would be something more suitable for him. What do you propose? I would recommend, in fact, right, in this case, I would recommend that he buy one industrial property under Jack's name first. Why? 30% down payment times 500,000 is only 150,000. Right? But you got budget of 200K. Okay, I would recommend that he buy another one, 500K under Jack's company name. Jack's company name can take a greater loan. usually can do 80%. In extreme cases, can go up to 90%. All right. So that kind you can see down payment 20% multiplied by 1 million, 200,000. This one add up to this one, 350. You may be thinking, hey, exceed budget leh. Where got enough? Okay, guys, think out of the box again. You know what? Jack and Jill is husband and wife. Is telling you their budget is 300K, ma? Is their budget, ma? But when you talk to Jack, you realize that, hey, Jack also got another company, right? So company also got budget, right? So when you are able to let them see that, oh yeah, 300K I can buy under me and my husband and wife, that company also got budget, ma? So that's where you can use this to supplement their overall purchase. 350K, it's more than this, but okay, some money will come from the company. Ultimately, businessmen are all like that one. They see the value in making the money work harder for them. You know what they do? Thank you so much, Jean, for advising me. I will take action now. With you lah. I go and buy. Okay? Good job.
Chris, but why buy under personal name first before buying under company name? Can I proceed?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Maybe I just I just correct myself. In terms of sequence, okay. In terms of the overall plan, okay, you buy two: one Jack name, one personal name, one company name. All right. Now, if let's say you want to buy in sequence of activity, should I buy personal name first or buy company name first? Assuming that this company is an investment holding company. Okay, you buy under investment holding company, TDSR will be affected, right?
Yes.
Agree?
Yes.
Right. You buy under personal name, your TDSR also affected, nah? Agree? Okay. Now here's the trick. It's called SOP, sequence of purchase. Right? This kind of situation, you want to buy under what first? You go and buy under company name first. Yeah. Sorry, what am I saying? What I meant is you buy industrial under Jack's investment holding company first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In doing so, he get the loan approved. Subsequently, if you want to buy the resti one, the resti one don't really go and check on company name one.
Mm-hmm.
You all with me? So you do the company one first, loan approved. Right, you do the personal one. You want to get your loan approved, easier because the personal one, they don't really go and check on your company name and all that. So the likelihood of you getting the loan through for both are much better than you do the reverse.
Understand. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, can Now, however, if you want to do, but in this case, Jack has got a company, and I assume that his one is the operating company this one got no bearing on him because operating company no matter what the TDSR does not apply so he buy the personal name one first or under the Jack company first. It doesn't matter because eventually when you want to do the loan on the company one, right? No impact on him because you still get the loan because TDSR doesn't apply. Can?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Now, 4 o'clock already. Okay. Cecilia, Mr. Tan. Hello, Cecilia. Hello, Mr. Tan.
Hello, Chris. Wait.
Hey, hi. June 4 p.m. Okay. Now, yes. Thank you for being joining us a bit earlier.
Okay.
To the 55 of you down here, guys, thank you for your energy level. I know you're very shag, but you know what? 好戏在后头. Good show is at the end. All right. We are very privileged to get our partner, our lawyer partner, right, to be here today to guide you through on the legal aspect on basically some of the mistakes that agent has made before. All right, at the same time, to take on some of your Q&A but pertaining to what? To contracts, legal matters. Is it all right? So without further ado, Cecilia, you can take it from here.
Okay, give me a minute. Give me a minute. Yeah, hold on, hold on.
Okay, while we are waiting for Cecilia to set up and for the lawyer, Mr. Tan, to come on, Cecilia is from Anthony Law. Oh yeah, I see Mr. Tan already. Hi, Mr. Tan. How are you doing?
Okay, we have got one issue because we are trying to share screen with another computer. It seems that we are not able to connect. Because I'm using one computer and share screen is another computer, which we are trying to, yeah.
I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
Sorry, Annie, are you within this group chat? Oh yeah, are you able to assist Mr. Tan to give them the hosting right for the other device?
My other screen say that the meeting is over. Yeah, cannot register now. Yeah.
Mr. Tan, you can try sharing again.
Okay. Or Cecilia, you want to make some introduction first? You are mute.
爱在 Cecilia 爱在。
因为我们两个人都在 office 吧，不在不一样的房间。
Oh, okay, understand.
So I'm hosting this.
We are not able to register for with another in order to share screen for the slides. Yeah. Able to enable from your side?
And try the mirror sharing.
Mirror sharing. Okay. Okay. Tell what, I think I'll do it from my computer. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. I think while we are waiting for Mr. Tan to activate his device, Ms. Cecilia, you can just start the ball rolling and give a quick introduction of who you are.
Introduction of myself. I think Anthony Law, all of us have heard of it already. But yeah, so okay, we're actually located at Odeon Towers. Okay, we have about 12 lawyers and about 80 secretaries. So we are very strong based in conveyancing, okay, for residential, commercial, and even part purchase and trust as well. But of course, this topic is all about commercial. So we can actually, anything pertaining to conveyancing, you can actually chat with me. I will send you all my contact number. Okay, so you can ask me anything of timeline. Okay, like for example, ABSD refund, ABSD remission, all these things. Are some of the very common topics that agents will actually face on the ground as you all do your conveyancing along the way lah. Okay, later Mr. Tan will actually touch on some very common errors that we often come across when your agents issue the option itself. Okay, so what are the common mistakes that agents always make along the way? So some of the things that he will actually highlight to you all, so that when you all fill up your OTP that time, you all will actually be more mindful of lah. Because sometimes when we receive OTP, we along the way. So some of the things that he will actually highlight fill up your OTP, the number will actually be more mindful of. Yeah, wait. Sorry, is there an interruption? Mr. Tan, you want to carry on with the class first?
Yeah.
Okay, Ken. I'll let Mr. Tan go ahead first. Subsequently, I'll come in for the Q&A part lah.
Can you all see the the screen already? Hello.
Yes, you can see.
Yes, you can see.
Okay.
You can see, right? Okay. Okay. Very good. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Today we are talking about commercial property purchase. Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't go into GST payment because I believe earlier on you covered about GST payable to the tax authority in respect of non-residential purchase. Actually, why we must also understand how the commercial property transaction work, because if you realize nowadays a lot of people are actually they cannot have quota to buy residential property anymore because they already have residential property. If they buy, they have to pay ABSD. Whereas if it's commercial or industrial purchase, there is no ABSD to speak of. And in respect of all these non-residential purchase, the stamp duty is also cheaper. Instead of 4% minus 15,004 for residential purchase, commercial and industrial, the stamp you are just talking about basic stamp duty, basic buyer stamp duty, which is 3% instead of 4%, and 3% minus 5,004. So actually, in respect of a foreign buyer, after they buy residential unit in Singapore, if they want to invest further, they may go for commercial or industrial. And this slide actually we share about what sort of type of property which foreign person can buy without approval. Approval means an LDAU approval. So you will note this slide, actually for shop house, industrial property, commercial properties, hotel or HDB shop house, the foreigner can actually freely buy. So it means that actually they can have access to this sort of investment. And take note, for HDB shop house or shop house, if there is any residential element or portion to it, actually appropriate stamp duty ABSD will have to be paid in addition to the usual stamp duty for the residential portion only. And how to determine whether how to pay on the residential property component in respect of ABSD. Normally, in respect of you look at this table under residential with commercial at first story, okay, and commercial and residential, both of these actually there will be residential component in respect. The purchaser determine how much to pay. This one we will need to rely on valuer to value the commercial and able to actually report to the IRAS and determine how much exactly is the stamp duty. This slide actually share on whether the foreign person can buy private shop house without LDAU approval. Take note that under the first limb, actually it is for mixed commercial and residential use. And take note that this sort of property, the zoning is also very important. The zoning must be commercial or commercial and residential. Then actually a foreigner can buy. Foreigner that will obviously include also a company which is not a Singapore company. Even non-Singapore company can buy property which is under this category. That's why in recent days, actually there are a lot of purchasers of this shop house. In fact, this market is relatively quite popular because foreigners are buying into the shop houses in Singapore. But take note that they are only open to buy those which are zoned commercial or commercial and residential. Okay, look at B and C. If let's say the shop house is actually within a residential zoning, actually the foreign person cannot buy. This category, the treatment will be like PR purchase of a residential landed. So that means they essentially cannot buy because they are not allowed to buy this category of so-called a shop house. And then look at C also. If the particular place is actually residential and with commercial on the first story, and this one is actually zoned as residential also, this one, the foreigner equally cannot buy. So when you actually look at what are the shop houses which foreigner can buy, actually the approval is important, and also more important is the zoning. It must be, I recap, commercial or commercial and residential. Look at this particular slide also, right? Just now I'm briefly mentioned already. If let's say you buy HDB shop house with living quarter, actually ABSD is only payable on the apportioned value of the residential portion. And obviously we need a valuer to help to actually do the valuation to determine how much is apportioned to the residential portion. And under the next Lim, question 20, if let's say you buy a strata shop within a condominium development, okay, the question is ABSD is payable because this condominium development is purely residential, but because this particular strata unit is the permanent usage is actually approved as a shop. So actually the ABSD in respect of this purchase will not be payable. And the next scenario is if let's say the person is buying a mixed-use development on the land, zone residential, is ABSD payable? Okay, this is because this particular land is zone residential. If you buy the land, obviously ABSD treatment will apply. If the person or is a company buying, ABSD is payable. And next, if let's say a person actually want to buy a semi-detached house, which has been approved as a childcare center, is ABSD payable? Actually, quite frequent. You can see when you drive by, you may see some landed housing, right? But actually, it is a kindergarten, right? Yeah. Is ABSD payable? Actually, this is actually residential zoning, and the use in respect of this particular childcare center or be it a kindergarten is only a temporary permitted use. So actually, there is ABSD. Before anything, I think we will open up so that the floor can actually ask a question pertaining to actually commercial property. Then I'll actually try my level best to actually answer. Is there any question?
Mr. Yeah, I
Yes.
posted. Okay, foreigners can buy HDB shop house. They need to pay